height of. You're a Eurovision legend. That's something we can definitely state. This
I feel very old.
this is this is your 24th appearance on the Eurovision stage. It could have been your 25th. No.
My 25th is a little jubilee, and I sometimes don't believe it that it's possible, because when I think back in all those 50 years I'm working here, un petit de paix, la paix sur terre, a little piece, is 35 years ago, you know. And then you see if time goes by so quickly, and that I'm still here, it's a wonder. It's a miracle.
Where does your fascination with Eurovision come from?
Well, it gives me the possibility to keep strength, you know. You know, life is very goes high and down, and I had many great moments in my life, and I had also some very deep moments. And the deep moments, music always, it was a possibility to draw yourself out again, you know. C'est toujours un espoir. You have a hope to get better again, and music always helped me to survive. I had cancer, I had everything, you know, so you have to just, you have to have a vision to do something new. And most of the people with 65, they retire, and then they go like this, you know. And I have always a chance to bring my music to other people's and give new artists a chance with my, let's say, experience which I have. But you have to be lucky too, you know. And with San Marino we were not so lucky, and I wish to Valentina really all the best. She deserves it so much. And Jimmy, who lives since many, many years in Germany, came from America. He played Obama, he played Sisterella. He's such a nice guy. But it's a very hard life for some musicians, especially for musical people like Jimmy, and for Valentina in such a small country. If you become such a 35,000 people. And the wonderful thing is, we have 2 million hits. I mean, on YouTube, this was really a miracle.
Talking about San Marino and Valentina, this is your 4th participation with Valentina. Why again Valentina?
Well, actually, I tried a few songs this year. I went to Moldavia, and then Germany rejects all my songs. I don't know why. They only have English and American authors since years. Maybe they do good. I hope they do good, you know. But then in the end, I talked, as we know each other for many years, with San Marino, and they said, well, do you have something? We have something, but we don't know yet, we're not sure. I said, yes, I have an idea which I wrote, and but only with Valentina, because she's just the singer who went in my heart all those years, you know. With Chrysalide, she was missing 2 points not to go to the final. And I said, Valentina is... And at the same time, I met Jimmy on a party in Cologne, and he said, can I have a selfie with you? I said, yes. Oh, I know you. And so we met, and at the same time I contacted Valentina and I said, I have this duet, you know. And then I said, okay, we write this duet, and I gave it to a woman and a man. A guy from England, Steve Barnacle, and Jutta from Germany, so they wrote this duet as lyricists together. And this makes it true, it makes it brilliant. And then I invited, as I said, Valentina to come to Munich. If you do it, you want it, it's you decide. And I also invited Jimmy at the same time. So they met on that weekend, and they heard the song, and they started grooving and moving. Said, hey, that's soul, that's jazz, that's pop, that's funky. Oh, let's do it, you know. And that was a moment for me to return for the 25th time. It's fabulous, you know.
Very good. In '82, Nicole won Eurovision. I was still a child when I watched that, and at the end of the show, she sang the song in 4 languages. Did you come up with that idea?
Well, after we won in Germany, we thought, well, maybe if we are lucky, we do some international versions. So we did the Dutch version, we did the French version, we did the English version, and even the Italian version. And finally, when we were there, she decided herself. And I was sitting on the piano still singing in German, and she already sang in Dutch. Een beetje vrede, een beetje liefde. And this was her who really, then, I mean, we rehearsed this all, but not the way to do it. And she did it really. It was her, it was her moment, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember it was very moving when I watched it. So I was a child, but it was perfect. What did you see change in Eurovision? Because you've been here for quite a number of years, and what do you think was better in the past? What's better now? And just your general impression on the changes in Eurovision.
3 major points. The first, and I think most important thing, that in the old days, the people heard the song the first time. I mean, they once tour the video or whatever, but people heard the song the first time and they had to make an initial emotional voting. Now they go through the internet for weeks and months, that's how Italy got 50 million hits, and others have no chance. This is a little very big difference. It's an internet work promotion before, which not everybody can do. That's one side. The second side is that in the old day we had an orchestra. It was live. Everything was live. I remember conducting my wonderful conductors and singers. It was all live, which is totally different. And the third thing is really that I remember when Nicole sang a little Harrogate, there was 900 people in the audience. They had to take out the first 3 rows of the audience to put them some cameras. Now you have here 10 or 20,000 people sitting here, and that's quite some difference. But as I said, everything changes. Things go to the good, to the different. I liked it very much when it was live, and I liked it without the whole internet work, because some artists come here and said, well, we're on the internet, we're down, you have a feeling like going down, and others are top, they say, oh, we're going to win. In the old days, it was a little bit more interesting. Nobody knew, also the artists. The artists felt, we have our chance tonight, And now, as I said, in the internet, you have ratings down there, and the bettings in England. Well, they've always betted, but anyway, you know what I mean? This is a big difference. Yeah. So now you say, okay, Italy is going to win, and they have all the millions. But for a country, for 35,000 people, 2 million hits on YouTube for Spirit of the Night, that's fabulous. And this made me happy, because if a normal country votes like Sweden or Germany, 2 million is not so much. But if you have a country with only have 35,000, and I think it was something 4,000 or 5,000 San Maurice people voted, that was 20%. But if you take from Germany or other countries, if 20% would vote, that's the difference. So these are the different main facts. The rest, I think, is still the same, because you need an artist, you need a good song, you need a good personality and a good director, the TV. The cutting is very important, how the cuts are. And I think this is done wonderful what we have here. Thank God, and thanks to the artistic directors who do this. I think we have a little chance. So I wish, especially for this little country, and especially for Valentina and Jimmy, that they hopefully make the final.
We hope so too. You had 2 songs with Lise Assia. C'était ma vie and All in My Head. Would you ever work again with Lise Assia? Because she also wants to come back to Eurovision.
This is not this woman is so fantastic. She's such a wonderful, great lady. And it was already a wonder that she could do it when she was 88, And when I did C'était ma vie, c'était ma joie, I was so convinced. But there were some jury people in Switzerland who talked her down, And, the voting is tough. And if she would have had a direct mandate, I think she would have done very well. Because C'était ma vie is one of the real beautiful songs I wrote with Jean-Paul Carat. And she was all... And then I said, okay, now we need some for the young people. But she didn't even have the chance to get to the final, because it was so-called TV YouTube voting. And then an old lady was 89 years. How can you survive against those fans, And so she had no chance, because we only did that video. I think that would have also been funny, because All in My Head, it was really, and she was explaining to the young kids how life is. So we're always trying to make something. And now, as I said, we hope it's the spirit of the Eurovision night. And Jimmy is giving all his power, He has a long life as musical star. And musical artists have a hard life. And Valentina has a hard life too. She was 2 years in London all by herself. She worked, so she picked up the language very good now. And she's just a great lady. So I really wish her good luck.
A final question: what message would you give to future producers, writers of Eurovision songs?
Don't always look what the others do. Just do something which you do from your heart. Don't do all those 4 pattern songs which everybody does. Last year I took the 30 top hits. And I want to know what's the secret of the new pop music. So I took 30 songs, and from 28 songs were 4 chord pattern songs. da 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 da, or Moby Dee da 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 da, and the whole song through. And as I said, composing is one thing, and making music is another thing. But as I said, sit down at the piano, write a song, and find an artist who you have the feeling that he loves it and feels it. And this is sometimes what some of them do it very good, but sometimes it always sounds the same. It's always the same chord structure and always the same beat, and 130 and 128 or 109. And this, I think, some of the writers go too much for what is on the radio. Sometimes they have to, because we have too much format radio, and format radio is killing a little bit the composing world. Because the more you say, this is not the format, this is not the format, it's got to be this beat, it's got to be this rap, or it's got to be that. Try to go back to people with a guitar and write songs, and the radios have to help a little bit, you know. The radios play always the same kind of stuff. Format radio is not the future zone. I think it should be more different radios. You see here also, so many songs that all sound the same. Good songs, well done. But it's not the original composing like we have had from the old days, from Italy, from Domenico Modugno, or we had from Phil Coulter, Puppet on a String. I'm the, you know, they all look too much for the format, and the so-called A&R people, they go for mainstream, and then you find everything almost sounding the same. Good, sometimes not. But I'm missing a little bit the original way of just writing. Some of the songs are very nice, you know. So I hope we have a chance. Mine has no time. It could be done in the 60s, in the 80s. It can be done. It's timeless. It's some jazz harmonies which I put through, especially in the different third bar. And it could be soul, it could be funk, it could be dance, it could be disco. I don't know. I've just write a song, and the artist is the most important thing. You know, if the artist can make it, you have no chance. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for this interview. No, thank you very much for this interview, and we're already looking forward to your entry for next year.
Well, if God brought me here is already luck. You know, it's a question of health, and the health is. It's just, in my life, it was very good. Sometimes it was very bad. You know, so I really hope to live long enough to help other artists and to give some of my music to some people who I'm mostly into my new musical, which I've written, which one is Johnny Blue, which comes out in Vienna next year, which was already had original opening in Prague, or not in Prague, in Brno. And I wrote another musical, which we are showing the first time in Berlin, the 29th of May, which is called Zeppelin. And Zeppelin is probably I hope my masterpiece, which takes 50 years of my music, but I've written everything new. Okay. Nothing from the old song. The whole music and lyric is new. Okay. And this gives me right now the most passion to live, you know, to make music.
Okay. Well, that's very good to hear. We'll definitely come to Berlin to watch the musical.
If you want to, give me a card. I send you an invitation the 29th of May in Berlin. Wintergarten, you know Wintergarten? I know. Very, very big. We have a lot of people coming from all over the world, especially producers, you know, and also the 29th of May is a really important day for me. But now we hope for the 11th of May, maybe, you know. So let's hope that Valentina and San Marino has a chance to go to the final, you know.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.